Hi everybody and welcome to Tanks for the Mammeries. We are playing a little bit of Armored Warfare in the closed access test here. And just trying out a little bit of the game here, and we're in the T55 here. Right? So today what I'm going to do is show you guys 3 different battles that I had the other day in Armored Warfare. The first one here was right after I had downloaded the new patch, so it's putting me into a sort of a training room scenario. And even though I had picked the basically the BMP Terminator, which has got an autocannon and 4 guided anti-tank missile tubes on it, I ended up being put into battle in this T-64, which I apologize for thinking it was a T-55. I'd read somewhere that we were getting a T-55, and I couldn't find it again afterwards, but that was my original thought, is like, oh, I've been dropped in a training mission, obviously not in the tank that I'd picked, but or the vehicle that I'd picked, but a tank that I didn't pick and didn't own, but it is actually a T-64. So I guess just for training purposes, they drop you in this to help you out. Anyway, Armored Warfare, or my.com, assumes that you understand the basic controls of vehicle maneuvering using your keyboard and things like that, but there is no real instruction panel in the game that, talks about how to use your keyboard and the different things you can do with it. So you just got to kind of get in there like World of Tanks and, figure things out as you go along. The basic controls are obviously W, A, S, and D. Firing with your mouse, moving your turret with your mouse, that sort of stuff. But so the 3 games I'm going to show you today are this training game, which if you download Armored Warfare and you get into it, this will be one of the first games that you see, or first scenarios that you see. After this, I will actually be playing the BMP Terminator, which they, for purpose of this game, I guess call a TD because it's got the anti-tank missiles on it and the chain gun. And then the last battle is going to be in the MBT-70, which is a pretty cool tank. They're all very low tier, and you start in the game with these. I am playing, I think in all of these games, I'm playing the PvE missions, which are actually pretty fun. I got to tell you guys, I'm really liking this game. It's more complex than way more complex than World of Tanks, but they do a good job balancing playability with all the technical aspects of it. You get some really good-looking vehicles. I think the grind is a bit slow. The earnings are not huge to let you grind up quickly, which is, I guess, fine. The longer it takes to grind, the more you learn about the game. But the entry-level vehicles are really pretty pathetic. It's really tier 3 and up that they get good, and then they get exponentially much more expensive as time goes on. But the scenery is absolutely gorgeous. For the most part, I think that they've got the graphics down pretty well. I do notice that you clip through objects that you can run over, like trees and telephone poles. I see that in every single game that I play on Armored Warfare. But the other day, when I was playing, I was zoomed in like that on an enemy vehicle that went around the corner in a town, and he had clipped a telephone pole or a light pole, street light pole along the way, and he passed by, and the thing slowly toppled over and fell to the ground, which I thought was really cool. It just looked really good, very realistic. But I got to tell you, I think graphics are beautiful. The landscapes are amazing and very realistic. There's Hesco Bastion. There's, cars that you can find on the showroom floors today. The sandbags, the tires, the building styles are very sort of Eastern European, Middle Eastern. That all looks really good. The maps are big and maneuverable, and plenty of places to hide, plenty of opportunities to use your vehicle like the designers intended. And I think the artillery is great so far. I think this is really a fantastic game. And while it may not be a World of Tanks killer, I certainly see it giving War Thunder a real run for the money. So in this battle, I've gone and done everything the guy's telling me to do, and sort of for the last bit of it, you have to take on an enemy main battle tank that is shooting back at you, and it talks about how the armor in the front is very thick, and so you need to get to the sides and the rear to learn to shoot at it. He missed me there because I juked him. And, you know, learn how to change your ammo out and how to shoot different things while on the move and using cover and concealment and those sorts of things. So, anyway, that's pretty much it. I've completed all the mission objectives, and that's pretty much the end of the battle, but it's the primer for you to begin to play Armored Warfare. So that's pretty much the first thing you run into. So, oh yeah, I forgot, I got to go capture the bunker here on the other side, and there'll be some enemy tanks that come along to get me after I capture the bunker, or try to get me anyway. But you can see, I mean, it's a really nice map. I mean, the visuals are just stunning, and I like how the you can see the enemy tank. Boom. You can see the tracers coming and bouncing off your vehicle. I like the sound effects a lot. I like when the tanks get damaged, they make, you know, clanking noises, things like that. I like the crew sounds. I like the communication with the crew in the vehicles. I'm still working on figuring out the whole crew upgrades and vehicle upgrades thing, and how to use the what XP or whatever they're calling the XP. It's basically you get two different kinds of experience. What do you call it? There's like vehicle experience, and then there's sort of crew experience as well, and they're actually separated out. And somebody's going to correct me on this, and please do. But basically, you earn these different things based on your performance. And there's a base participation in the game if you complete all the objectives, XP that you earn, and then there's this other stuff that you can use on the vehicle. And then when this vehicle reaches a certain level of competency, then you get what's called, you get renowned, and then after that you can use convertible XP for other vehicles and things like that to help you climb up the food chain a little bit faster. In the beginning, you've got a couple of really pretty crappy vehicles, but after the first tier, things begin to split off, and you can go from one vehicle that I have is the PT-76, which is an old Soviet amphibious tank. You can go from that to different kinds of vehicles, and I was trying to climb the ladder pretty quick to get out of that and into something else. I got into the T-54 and managed to upgrade it, and then into the T-62, which I am currently upgrading. As you can see, I hit that guy and lit him on fire. I'm going to try and track him, end up killing him. But that's pretty much the end of this first training match. So yeah, so I was climbing up the ladder, climbing up the food chain from, you know, the PT-76 into some other Eastern European armored vehicles, and wanted to get, I like the T-54 and World Tanks, and so I wanted to try it in Armored Warfare. I think there's a glitch with some of the graphics on the vehicles, some of the skins on the vehicles. The T-54 has got a weird turret graphic, and I think that they've got to fix that. But, you know, all in all, pretty good vehicle. You upgrade the ammunition, you can upgrade the gun, you can add other features to the vehicles like reinforcing the chassis or the engine compartment. You can add laser sights, you can add, you know, gunner sights, bigger engines, better tracks, all that sort of stuff. And everything that you do to the vehicle either increases or decreases the number of hit points and the survivability and the quality of the accuracy of the gun, that sort of thing. So anyway, this is the victory screen for the crew. You can see because it was training, I got nothing for it. Got a couple of awards, but basically nothing, no money, no XP earned there. But after this battle, we're going to get into another one. You can see down across the bottom of the screen, I have a few different vehicles there. Some of them are premium vehicles, which I got as part of my initial joining the game package. And then some of the vehicles that I have to work my way through. There's the M113 with a chain gun on it, and there's the PT-76. And then, of course, there are the premium vehicles. So this is the victory screen. Tells you sort of what you did, how well you did. Moving on to the next battle that I had, I ended up getting into the Terminator vehicle here, which you can see has got it's got 4 tubes and a couple of gun barrels on it. And I'm in this with other live players on my team in a PvE mission against bots on the computer. And the missions are basically, you're given a mission by, you know, some broker, some mercenary broker who says, oh, you've been hired by these people to do this thing. This is your objective, which you can see on the top right hand of the screen. You got the objective. I'm shooting that guy with a chain gun right now. One thing I don't like about this vehicle is, so I'm sitting here banging away at this fellow with a chain gun, and I'm doing some damage to him. That's all good, well and good. But then I want to switch over to something different here in a minute. And rather than it already being preloaded, it's you got to wait for it to load. So in real armored vehicles, if you've got missiles in tubes, they're ready to launch. All you do is switch over the sighting mechanism and switch over the ballistic computer and that sort of thing, and you know, it changes over to the next weapon system. And the Bradley Armored Fighting Vehicle, it's as simple as flipping a switch to change the different types of ammo you're using on the chain gun, and then switching over to the missile system by raising the tow missile box on the outside of the turret and getting the sight ready and firing the missiles. When I'm playing this, and I'll show you in just a minute, I'm using the chain gun now, and you know, I'm trying to kill that guy. And he's dead. So trying to switch ammo types there, which is fine. But these guys are a long way off, and I'm thinking to myself, I'd like to try these guided missiles. So I'm backing out of view there, and you know, my team is sort of in the same area. This is one of our objective points, to capture this area here and hold it from the enemy who keeps coming along. And trying to use the ground terrain. You can see I just got hit pretty hard. The green bar that goes around my vehicle icon is your health bar, and there's a shit ton of other indicators on there that I have no idea what they do yet, nor do I know how to figure out how to access those different indicators for something. But so now I want to switch over to the missile system, and it's loading. So in real life, those missiles will be up and ready to go the minute I switch to them, because I would have already preloaded the tubes. In this case, it is reloading. It's taken 20-something seconds, and now it's up and ready to go. I have to sit still, can't fire missiles while I'm on the move, which is realistic. But it should not take that long to load, because I should be able to just switch between. Now, of course, if I fire all 4 missiles, then obviously it ought to take time to reload those. But in this particular case, since I hadn't fired them yet, they should be up and ready to go from the start. So that's a minor little problem I have. Now this missile is guided, so I can track it to the target once I fire it with my mouse. As you can see, I'm moving it to try and hit the vehicle in spots that I think that the missile will do damage. So I'm going to fire one there. He took a shot at me. I hit him on the front deck. Didn't do much to him. And, you know, as other people have said, the cool thing about this is that the now I'm reloading the missile system. I'm going to try and track this guy, and also going to try and go for the side of the turret, see if I can blow his ammo rack up. There we go. Going to try and track him. Boom, tracked him. And going for a hull shot. These guys, some of these vehicles have spaced armor, or they've got explosive armored panels on the sides of the vehicles, and so that's going to make a difference into what kind of damage you can do to them, if you can damage them at all. Um, and same with the ammo choices. When you see certain kinds of vehicles, you can overpin, don't do as much damage, change out the ammo type, reload, fire again, do different things. The rocket choices here, he's going to get killed, I think, before I get to him. But I mean, the missile choices, I don't really have a choice here. I got whatever came with it in the beginning. So, boop. I tell you what, man, the bots when they get hit and they see you, they shoot at you right away. There's no missing, man. They swing that turret around and whack you hard. Anyway, so that looked kind of like a Bradley down there, but he died before I could get to him. And so you can see there's sort of waves of enemy vehicles that come along. We have to defend different points and then take care of the objective. So my thought was, well, if I got this great missile system, I'm just going to sit up on this hill, let all my teammates get in there close, but I should be able to shoot these guys from quite a distance out. Oh, he's dead before my missile got there. He's dead before I could get to him. That guy's behind the houses over there. And the other thing about this is the missiles don't reload until you fire all 4 of them, which is cool. I mean, I'm okay with it. I get that. There, I hit that guy pretty good. Hit him again. About 425 each time. And didn't quite kill him. Well, some good hits on that guy, though, from a pretty good distance. There's no way he could see me through that. So, again, reloading all 4 missiles. He's behind those buildings, not going to be able to do anything about him. And the guy talking to us is telling us now it's time to go into town and capture town, defend the next zone. I start heading that way along with the rest of my team. So you can see it, you know, completely different type of map than the last one. Little ammo bunker there. Bonk. Now I'm going to run into a couple of guys here that my team can't help me with because they've gone off. I'm just taking shots from all over. Get behind that helicopter there. Avoid getting hit by that guy. So I'm switching back to guns now because I can't fire missiles on the move. I'm screaming for help. So there's a guy overwatching me, and then there's a guy on the edge of town who's also able to do some shooting, which I found to be very helpful. So the enemy is sort of, the enemy bots are capping the base right now. We've got to stop that from happening. Good thing I was reloading, or I would have hit my own guy there. So I'm going back for missiles again. Now I'm thinking you can probably drop this over. I missed him. But I'm not very good at it yet. Because even if the enemy vehicle goes out of sight, you still have the opportunity to steer the missile onto the target. So I'm having a feeling if I got good at this, I could probably drop it over a. If he went behind something, I could probably still get it to him, but that's going to take a lot of practice. So he put a good shot into me. I don't think I got him that time. I don't know what's happening, but it didn't look. That one hit him. So if you're not sure whether or not you're hitting these guys, you got to look for the yellow numbers, because the yellow numbers that come up over the enemy vehicle are your damage done to them. Your teammates' numbers are blue or white, and the enemy damage done to your teammates is red. So anyway, we managed to win that one. The other thing is, when you're doing these PvE missions, you may not actually kill all the enemy vehicles before the mission's completed. And if the mission objectives are met, then the mission's going to end. So you could be mid shooting somebody and the mission's over. So anyway, that was my team. Fairly easy. I think this was an easy level, but they get harder as it goes on. You got easy, medium, hard, and then insane. And that's based on tiers as well. The lower tiers you get the easy missions, and the higher you go in the tiers you get the harder missions. So that was one of the easier missions. The next one I'm going to show you, the last one I'm going to show you here, is me using the MBT-70. Again, here's progress on my crew. Now I've started to get the XP, and that goes through all the different things that you got credit for. They break it down to show you what your XP was earned on and where you got your cash. So this one is where I'm using the MBT-70, which is a premium vehicle, and it's a tier 5 or 6 something, I think. Maybe it's tier 4 or 5 or 6. And it says up in the corner. And I hadn't played this map before, so I thought I'd just follow everybody else, and I just kind of see what these guys did and do the same thing, because they all seem to know exactly where to go. And because there's only a limited number of the PvE maps at this point in time, at least based on tier, people who play the PvE missions a lot will know exactly where to go and where the enemy vehicles are going to spawn. So I guess it's kind of more fun when you're first playing it, when you don't really know. But it gets, well, missed him. Obviously it gets easier the more you play them, because you sort of know where everything is. But I didn't know anything about these missions maps at this time, so I was just getting in here and trying to see what was what. And it was pretty fun. See how I just clipped through that tree and now it falls over? That's a graphics glitch they're going to have to fix, because you drive through these things and then afterwards the trees fall over. So that doesn't happen with buildings. You hit a building, it breaks or whatever, but the trees, like, I was already through that one, and you can actually see going through the... It doesn't happen with the stones, but you can literally see me drive through a tree, or a tree go through my vehicle, and then it falls over. So not a big fan of that, but I'm sure that's something they'll fix as time goes on here. So waiting for the reload, and then I'm going to take my shot on this guy. Boom, he's dead. And the team seems to be doing pretty well. We're getting up in there and doing... I got a good hit on that guy. So it's... Anyway, I think it's a really fun game. And as I said, I think the graphics are beautiful. I think it's certainly an Armored Warfare killer, except that you don't have the combined battlefields where you have obviously pilots in the air and that are real players, and vehicles on the ground that are real players. So you don't have that combined arms combat. But I'm going to try and put a shot into his... There you go, right into the top hatch. But I think from the standpoint of the visuals and the technical aspects, and the fact that this game is a bit more technically complex than World of Tanks is, it's more suited, in my opinion, to being a competitor to War Thunder than to World of Tanks. So now that we've cleared that part of the objective out, we're all going to move down. You can see we still haven't actually completed either the primary or secondary objective, but we're on our way to it now. And I've split off from the rest of the team just to kind of see what's what. But we're moving pretty quick in this vehicle. This is a nice vehicle. It actually fires a number of different types of main gun rounds, and it also fires a guided missile from the main tube. So that's pretty cool. I never actually used any of the guided missiles when I was playing this match, but I will be trying that in the future, and when I do, I'll let you guys know how it goes. But it's pretty cool. Pretty cool tank. So here I go, trying to close up with the rest of my team. And you can see that red number that just went floating up in the sky. That was the enemy who put a hit on one of our guys. And so the damage taken by our team was what floated up there in the sky. I also think that for the most part, they've done a good job with scaling and sizing all of the vehicles and hit that guy on the move. The vehicles and other things in the game like benches and phone boxes and light poles and Hesco Bastion and all that sort of stuff. Unlike Wargaming, who still has a little bit of issue. I'm going to try and side scrape here. I've been spotted. Wargaming has got a few things that are still out of scale that, you know, it's not a huge deal, but you drive along and there's a park bench in Himmelsdorf that every time I pass the park bench in Himmelsdorf, I'm like, the thing is made for gigantic people to attract him to sit on, because the bench is as big as my tank. That always irritates me whenever I see it, but you know. But this, I think they've done a pretty good job in getting all of the scale right. And they have actually fixed one of those things that was ticking me off before about when you'd shoot the bad guys, there'd be this giant like flash halo around the vehicles that when they got hit, which they're not doing anymore. It was extremely distracting, and I'm really glad they got rid of that. That was the biggest distraction I had with it. You still see when you fire your gun, there's a overpressure flash halo, and that's fine, but when it hits the enemy vehicles, they've gotten rid of it, and I really like that. Now it bounced, and your crew will tell you, like, no damage, bounce, he's dead, we brewed him up, whatever. They say different things for different things. So anyway, guys, that is 3 games in Armored Warfare that happened just the other day. We've won that one. You can see again, there's the screen that talks about what we won, how much damage we did, how many vehicles we killed, all that sort of stuff. I'm really starting to like Armored Warfare. I'm going to start grinding up past the T-54 and the T-62, so stick around for more Armored Warfare games. I hope you enjoyed it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. This is Tanks for the Mammeries playing Armored Warfare. We also play World of Warships and World of Tanks, and when it gets around to it, we'll do some Star Citizen. But again, I'm really liking this Armored Warfare. I think you'll be seeing more of this from me. So I hope you, if you get interested in a modern tank game, this would be the one to take a look at. It's really good stuff. So check back. Don't forget to like and subscribe. I appreciate all the support you guys give me. Thank you very much, and I will catch you on the next one. Take care.